move and update skier functions. Hello everyone, today we are going to create the functions that are going to be defined in our skier. So these are basically going to be the actions that the skier is going to be able to do. So let's first create a new function here, def turn, and we'll pass here the parameters self and num. Now we'll set self dot direction plus equals the num, and then self dot direction will be first equal to the maximum of the -2 and self dot direction, and then self dot direction will be equal to the minimum of 2 and self dot direction. Okay, here I just need to change the bracket to this one. Okay, we're done here, and then let's create a center variable. So center will be equal to self dot rect dot center, and then self dot image, and here write pygame dot image dot load, and we would like to load the image depending on the position of our skier. So I write self dot direction, self dot image paths, and inside we will choose self dot direction. So images, they will change depending on the direction of the skier. Now let's write self dot rect equals self dot image dot get rectangular. Okay, and then let's write self dot rect dot center will be equal to the predefined center that we did earlier on, so center. Okay, and now we'll not get this warning anymore here because we just used this variable. Okay, so you see that now it's removed, and we're done with that. So then let's write self dot speed equals self dot direction, comma 6 minus abs. So again we take here the absolute value of self dot direction multiplied by 2. And now we would like to return self dot speed. Okay, so this function will return speed, and depending on our turn direction we're going to get different speed. This is basically the idea. Okay, after we did the turn function, it's a time to create a different function which is called move, and obviously this will be responsible for moving the skier. So now we did the turn direction. Okay, we did this function. Now we need to do the moving function. So I write def move self, and then self dot rect dot center x will be equal to self dot speed 0, and then self dot rect dot center x, and here this will be equal to either the maximum. So okay, we have max, and here let's write the maximum of 20 or self dot rect dot center x. And then let's do a similar thing, so self rect dot center x will be equal to min of 620, which is actually the border of our screen. So what we define here is actually we don't allow our skier to move out of our window. So if we get a value of 20, okay, we will take it, okay, we will take the maximum value of either 20 or the center x, which means that if the center x is more than 20, then we will take the value of 20, and this will allow our skier to stay into the screen. And the same accounts for the minimum function. We're gonna take the minimum of 620 or self dot rectangular dot center x. This is basically the idea behind all of these functions with the min and the max values, and we'll keep using them in other functions as well. So we're ready with the move function, and now let's set the image of falling, or when we hit the tree we would like to display another image that our character is falling. So we will set this here. I'll write def set fall, then self, and here I write self dot image equals pygame dot image dot load, and here we will load the image, but instead of file name I will use the CFG file, so CFG dot skier image paths -1. That's it. And here is how we define the set fall. And now the last function we will do is to set forward, and we're done for today. So I will do def set forward self, and then self dot image equals to pygame dot image dot load, and again here instead of file name I will write self dot image paths self dot direction, okay. And obviously for the set forward we also need to choose different picture depending on the case, and for that reason we're defining the pictures in that way, okay, so they are dynamic. But actually before that I would like to set the self dot direction to be equal to 0, so this is our starting point, okay. Now what I noticed is that all the functions we wrote since the turn function, okay, so all the functions we wrote, they need to be on a same indentation level as the init function, and that's not a problem, it's not too much work. We can simply scan the function, so you can do this very simply in Python. Now select all the functions that we just wrote, okay, these are those, and then select shift and hit tab, and you can see that indentation level of all the functions has been changed, and now they are on the same indentation level as our initialization function, okay. Also put here E because I did IMAG, so here it should be E. Yes, so here is image paths, here will be image paths as well. You can either change it or not, it just should be everywhere written in the same way, the image paths, okay. So here we have image paths, here and here it should be all the same. So this is the whole function completed, guys. And now since you're ready with the class skier class, you can continue with the next functions, and we're going to write them tomorrow. So What I will create next is the obstacle class, and we're going to create info in the next video. But that's enough for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.